Untold came out. The murder of Aaron McNair.
Yeah. It was a good doc.
How did
bro.
you feel about that documentary? Because at the end, I was a little like,
Okay, so-
this the end? Is there going to be another part to this?
Again, I'm like I was telling you right now. When you go out, I kind of want to get the lay of the land before I get there and know what I'm looking for and how the place operates. I kind of did that with the doc, and what I'll do is the one thing that stood out to me was it was under an hour.
Yeah, it was
right?
only like 48 minutes.
Yeah, it was under an
like
hour.
that.
So when I hear that, or when I see that, like I don't want to make too much of a judgment, but it also seems like, okay, maybe they compressed a lot of information or didn't have a lot of information to present. I think all in all, it was a good doc. I don't know if I learned anything new in regards that I already didn't know, but they did create, when they had the different suspects. Right? That part about it I didn't know about, so I definitely appreciated getting that insight. I learned a lot more of the female that he was dating at the time.
You know what? I feel like I knew this before.
Yeah.
He was trying to distance himself.
Yeah.
After the DUI, he kind of just jumped in a car and was out. He didn't worry about her. Like, yo, I have a wife. Like,
he didn't want that public.
I'll bail you out, but like, just don't make this a scene for me.
Yeah,
and I think. Classic tale. She meets a rich guy, can provide her with different things.
Yeah.
He does that.
She's on her own.
So obviously she falls in love, but her love was not where he was at.
So
and
there's so
then
much.
there was a mix up in there.
Yeah.
So
again, so the one thing that comes out to me, like that stood out to me as you watch these docs of passion and love and murder and shit. What thing stood out to me was, okay, Steve McNair is this, especially in the state of Tennessee and playing for the Texans, like what kind of I lost was the fact that he was a bad man playing football. Him as a QB.
Do you remember how that Titans run was?
He was a bad man. The fact that he also went to an HBCU, and he turned around the franchise for Tennessee, especially with Coach Fisher and the running back, Eddie George.
Eddie George is incredible.
Yeah, so they had a really good run, and they had a run. I think they went to a couple conference finals, as they mentioned, and one Super Bowl. They lost on that stretch play, on the very last play of the game. I remember watching that game, and that was the greatest show on turf. But they adorned him. So this story to me it's so random. Like it's almost like an outlier, because we know, and we're not going to front, we know that that rich athletes from the beginning of time, entertainers, have had extramarital affairs, right? That's not new.
That's nothing new.
That's not new, right? But I think in a situation like this, because they also uncovered, a couple other marital affairs he was having. It looks like one of those scenarios where you just stuck your hand one too many times in a cookie jar, and when that lid landed, you took two in the chest. You understand what I'm saying? It was just it's an outlier. What stands out to me too, and I don't know. Again, I don't know if you can hedge against this. The age differences, right? Like, he's a grown man in his in his terms and in his life, and he's dealing with this young girl. Like, you're not on the same page. Like, the equally yoked is a real thing. You understand what I'm saying? So,
son,
rest in peace, obviously, to Steve McNair, but I think there are lessons that we all can learn from these circumstances, rich or poor.
Chill out.
Yeah, man, you're doing too much sometimes.
Way too much.
But what I will talk about the doc too was the whole police side of everything, right? Because it looks like, especially at the end, I thought the end was amazing to me, because they took the DEA and versus what the local cops. So they ultimately, the DEA say, like, these guys messed up. Like, how did you go to the pawn shop, and with a spoiler alert, 100%. Now you go to the pawn shop and talk to the owner that owns the gun, and then you don't bring him down to the police station.
Nah,
you know what I mean? Like, even so there's a lot of holes.
Even the other guy that was messing with the young thing.
Yeah,
they only had him in the station for like 7 minutes.
Yeah,
and let him go. Like, he's a prime suspect.
All even the bodyguard. You know what I mean? Like, if you dig into like the stealing the money, he's or his ex-teammate / bodyguard. Like, you might want to follow him a little bit more,
fam.
Right? Like, so
I don't even know. They didn't even say nothing about his ex-wife either.
Not even.
You know what I'm saying? And your wife is always not ex-wife. Sorry,
his wife at the time.
His widowed wife.
Yeah.
They're always a prime suspect.
Well, unless she, but they didn't even mention her. Not even the fact that they were like, we went to speak to her and she had an alibi. She was with they didn't even mention it at all.
We didn't see her at all during the doc.
And I think that's part of the when I see under an hour, it's like, all right, maybe this is a quick flip, whatever the case is. You know what I mean?
They just did that quick, but it was a good doc. We recommend it. Make sure you go watch it.